What's up, Daily Fab Gamers? Thank you so much for watching my stream. Before we jump into this red-hot action, let's do some housekeeping. Use the chat command DECK for a link to the list I'm playing here. It's also in the video description. Some of these decks are sick, and you might want to play them in real life. If so, use the command HEML to enter the bazaar. It's never been more affordable to play in the flesh and blood. Players have been buying the cards they need from HEML for years. I started buying from him in 2023 and have never found a better deal. The bazaar's prices are the lowest for singles, full sets, and class sets, including new releases. Usurp the Shadow Throne set bundles are available now and ship both domestically and internationally. Use the data command to get a link to Fablazing.com, the best resource for matchup, tournament, and deck data. Follow my tournament journey and spam the coolest emojis by becoming a channel member. Channel members get matchup guides, post-game notes, elevated chat privileges, and more. Now settle in and get cozy because the stream begins now. Hey everyone. Hi. Good to see you here. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me on this this wonderful Friday afternoon to play Flesh and Blood. Yesterday we had a whole plan. We were going to play Jarl. We were going to test the new cards. We had spoilers from Usurp. It was going to be awesome and educational. Today we're just playing Aurora. She's fun. She didn't get new spoilers. I don't know if the Fabry spoiler has gone up yet, if it's publicly available, but from what I've seen of it, it is really, really good for 2 of the Omens heroes, and not this one. But I just think Aurora's fun, y'all. She's just a good time. She's not very competitive right now. I'm not expecting to see a lot of Aurora at Calling Kansas City this weekend. If one of them makes it to coverage, great. But for the most part, I just think she's neat. You get to turn your brain off. You get to throw a bunch of 0-for-4s at people. She's got combat tricks. I do really love the aggro blaze strategy of playing Aether Ironweave so that on a big burn up or arc lightning turn, you can pay for your tempestuous kiss. You did get the notification? Excellent, Rose. That's good. I'm super excited to hear that. I'm glad that the notifications are working. Against Cindra, I think we're still on Face Purgatory. Like, in theory, I can get Balance of Justice on a Cindra, but it's probably just better if I get Face Purgatory value. I think we still want Ironweave to pay for the Tempestuous Kiss. As with most of our games, we're just bringing in 6D React and calling it a deck. But we're just going to run it. Colwell has finally ordered his last Call to the Grave and Warmongers, just waiting for Malice spoilers. You want to play them in Malice, or you want to play them against Malice? Because I think either way, you could be onto something. Oath of Loyalty coming in for 4 makes me think I could discard Shelter from the Storm, and that is going to prevent Dagger Flicks. It's going to let me cover the 4 with this Jack Be Nimble, and then have Arc Lightning to cover something else. I think it's probably just better to play Shelter from the Storm as a defense reaction. I get my 4 block value. We call it good. Like, I might get got by having a 2 block in hand with Arc Lightning. I think I'm just taking 1 from the dagger here. I'm taking 2 damage this turn because this kunai will get flicked at me. Okay, I'm going to block this with Jack Be Nimble. This is an interesting list. I'm really now paying attention to exactly what's happening. Our opponent has presented 69 cards with Flamescale Furnace, AB1, Quick Dodge Flexors, Claw of Vincerakai. That's interesting. So this is Fatigue Cindra, which I've heard stories of. I've heard the tales of Fatigue Cindra. We're going to see if that's a real deck or not. I don't think my strategy changes. I guess if I had known it was Fatigue Cindra, I might be putting in cards like Potion of Strength and trying to do the thing where I set up potions for an Arc Lightning turn. But I don't think that matters too much. I have a few lines here. And I think because we have this Arc Lightning but only 3 other cards in hand, it's actually better for me to bottom the Arc Lightning with Enlightened Strike. I get my Arc Lightning deals 1 Arcane, following it with E-Strike deals 2 Arcane, Fry is 3 Arcane. The E-Strike will draw a card, so there's a chance that I draw something that could go wider on this turn, but I think I get more value and keep a threat in deck if I just send Fry into Current Funnel to generate the go again from Current Funnel, then send the Enlightened Strike, bottoming the Arc Lightning. I get my card draw. I'll have a lightning attack on the combat chain so I can Scorpio, which is pretty important against a fatigue deck. I do want to be maximizing my weapon as much as possible. And I'm suspecting, based on the Cindra's gameplay so far, how many blues she has, and the daggers, that her plan really is just block with 3 cards from hand and then dagger, dagger, flick. And that's how she's trying to kill me. Which means this gameplay is going to be super engaging. It's basically Ira. She is basically doing Ira. Except instead of Kodachi for 1, Kodachi for 2, it is dagger for 1, dagger for 1, flick. Which is better overall. Because I can block Kodachi, Kodachi, but I can't block the flick. Threatening 1 Arcane here, oh really? I thought that she was going to give me Claw of Vincerakai for sure. You've never seen a Cindra block this much? I have not played against Fatigue Cindra yet. I don't know how good it's going to be. I'm kind of thinking this card in hand is a defense reaction, and the reason she didn't give me Claw is that she's going to go Claw, Flick, just do the loop. I have an Arc Lightning in hand, and a hand that works really well with it. I don't need this Arc Lightning to make my turn function. Depending on how much not even arcane damage, depending on how much damage the Cindra takes, I could just now at a lower life total go Scar for a Scar, Ravenous Rabble, throw the Path of Same Ends, depending on if she's taken damage or not. I pitch Second Strike to Path in order to give it go again, and then Scorpio. The point being, I don't think I need to Arc Lightning here. I think I can wait. Alternatively, this Arc Lightning is getting 5 points of value. I get to Arc Lightning will deal 1 itself. I get to follow that with Path of Same Ends. Assuming that she pitches to the AB, there's enough of a chance that Scar won't have go again. I think we are keeping the Arc Lightning. This hand is functional enough that I can just hold the Arc Lightning back. Fiddler's Green. Oh, this deck is a meme. But it might be enough to get me. I was not expecting Fatigue Cindra, so we did connect with our Rabble, which means that our Second Strike does have go again. And a +1. The problem is if we send Path of Same Ends, the Cindra has Claw of Vincerakai, so the Path won't have guaranteed go again, even if she doesn't pitch to AB1. Am I supposed to send the Path, pitch the Second Strike, and then end on Scorpio, or am I supposed to Second Strike? I think we Second Strike here. I think Second Strike is going to be better. We get the +1. We'll see how she chooses to block this. I'm kind of thinking defense reaction arsenal, or not. We now send the Path of Same Ends. I can pitch Arc Lightning into it to give it go again if she breaks the Claw of Vincerakai for Spell Void. But then she doesn't have her daggers, so she can't do her loop of pitch blue. And she did break the claw. So depending on how she blocks or not, we have a choice to make on if we are going to pitch this Arc Lightning to Scorpio, or if we're just going to set up. Considering that her turn is doing nothing, she's going to gain 6 from the 2 Fiddler's Greens. So she will be at 36. I think it is better to set up. Apparently there is a new spoiler. Is this the one that I'm aware of? No, this is an assassin attack. So we will get to this in a bit. I do want to talk about this, Rose, but I want to finish this game first. Double Fiddler's Green, Arsenal the Arc Lightning. It's pretty okay. This turn is looking pretty good. I do think this is an Arc Lightning turn. We have a couple options. We can Arc Lightning, Current Funnel. Current Funnel will get the go again from Arc Lightning, but will also extend the turn. And that might be good. I think that's probably correct. Play out the Arc Lightning. See how much damage she wants to take. Scar currently has go again on its own. But we're going to see how much damage she takes if she ends up going lower than me. Now we'll play the Current Funnel. Current Funnel will give Snatch go again. Scar does not have go again anymore. I think we will play the Scar here. I want the go again, and I'm fine to either end on a Snatch or just Arsenal it. Oasis Respite uses the floating resource. Cindra is at a lower life total. Let's see if she takes 1 from the Arcane. She does. Rabble is going to show me what the Snatch would draw if it hits. Now at the same time, Cindra still has 1 card in hand and enough armor that I'm really not expecting the Snatch to connect. I think it's better to just send Scorpio here, get my guaranteed 1 point, possibly 2. Mikhail or Michael, thank you for following. Appreciate you being here. Ian asks, where do I find this, people? It's a skill I have. This hand is really bad. I think we are just on Activate Grasp, send Second Strike. This is not great for us. The Cindra was certainly correct to take the turn off. And sadly, because Scorpio is such a terrible weapon, I just don't have an option to even keep cards in deck. I have to throw the Second Strike. We get the last Fiddler's Green from Cindra. She is now at a healthy 36. Oh yeah, no, it's Fatigue Cindra. A real deck of cards. I think we're just sinking. You think this list is going to make waves at Paris? I think this list... I guess it could. What am I bottoming here? Am I bottoming anything? Bottom a Nimby that I don't feel like I need. Better than Aurora, at least. That is a low bar, Noah. And you know it. Aurora is not a good deck of cards, but she is fun. I do enjoy playing the deck. We're playing Skyward Serenade. I want to shuffle. Now we will just E-Strike for 7. Holding on to the Snatch and Arsenal that I have not been able to get value out of yet. We're looking for something to pair with it, likely a Lightning Press. Get a Command and Conquer and a Ripple away from our opponent. She's definitely at an advantage here. All she needs to do is outlast me. She's gained 9 the entire game. I assume she has 2 more Sigil of Solaces in deck, as well as 2 more Oasis Respite. So she's looking at potentially gaining 8 more life this game, and I have to chew through all of it. Hey, we drew the hand that does the thing. Interesting position for us to be in here. I can quick succession into Snatch with my Snapdragons. Double press will likely give me the card draw, and then I can Ironweave Tempestuous Kiss if I want to. I do need to play this Snatch before I can activate my Ironweave. My other line would be Pitch and Kiss and quick succession into Grasp, then sending the Snatch. They did gain 10 so far, you're right. I don't know that Go Again is better because we are threatening the same amount of damage either way. We're either sending 4 into 5 into 2, or we're sending 4 into 7. We aren't keeping more cards in deck by activating Scorpio. We've got Snatch coming in for 5. I do need to double press this Snatch. Suppose I don't need to. I could just IP the press. Depending on what I draw, I might just Arsenal it. But if I draw a blue or a yellow, I could just play Kiss. Our opponent has the second D-React. Do they have the third D-React? Looking for something that blocks 3 or 4, Cindra. We do connect. We are big up. We find a Rabble. I am still going to make this decision. I want to Arsenal the Rabble. I don't think sending it here has much value. We are just going to break either Ironweave, send Tempestuous Kiss. This will get Go Again from quick succession. So we are, and the +1 from having Go Again. So we're sending 1 Arcane, which gets the Claw of Dracai into 7 with Go Again, which Cindra just block out, so Tempestuous Kiss does not have an effect. But Cindra doesn't have a turn, and we now get to end on Scorpio. We're chipping away. We are getting there. But we still have a long way to go. We are currently down 3 down in Graveyard, plus the 9 more that Cindra started with. Things are not looking good, team. Scar for Scar is not online. Rabble would have gotten the quick suck buff, you're right. I should have sent it. I wanted to keep it to see what was on top of my deck coming up, but I think you're right, Noah. I should have just sent it. We will activate Grasp to make a Rune Chant. Come in with Rabble first, why not? See what's on top of our deck. We'll follow up with Fry and then Scorpio and just Arsenal the Nimby. Doing quick succession on top. Doesn't particularly work well with Nimby, but hopefully we'll draw something that does. Flick Flat coming into block 4, representing a block of likely 5 with the next combo card, but 5 on Fry is fine. And we've got a Scorpio coming in. I suspect Cindra takes 1 from the Scorpio and then AB1s the Arcane and uses the blue in hand to send Kunai. Maybe not. Maybe she just activates Cindra and passes. Darkodia says, playing versus fatigue, your spike turns need to be spikes. That means when you go off, you don't save cards. When they are guaranteed to do damage, you can set up on your setup turns. If you do weird mid-range turns you don't get through. That's fair. I get it. This hand is very weird. We can go quick succession with Lightning Surge and have a turn. We can play the Nimbleism as well. We just get stuck with this Sink Below. Alternatively, we can pitch Sink Below and Nimblism into Grasp, play the Quick Succession. I think we are sending the Quick Succession. I think what we are better off doing here is pitching Sink and Nimblism to Grasp, sending Lightning Surge for 1 Arcane plus 5, and then Scorpio as well. You could Grasp Pass. Never thought you would see Cindra playing Last Ditch Effort. It's a reasonable deck. These choices, the choices this Cindra is making are reasonable. She has 2 real weapons. She gets to push 3 damage every turn. She gets to push 1 unpreventable damage every turn. This Cindra is playing Ira. She's playing Fatigue Ira, but different. And in a way that people are not expecting the deck to play. I brought in 6 D-Reacts that I would love to not be playing right now. Skyward Serenade says that we can give this NIMBY go again. I think what we are doing, we've seen 2 Command and Conquer so far. I wonder if this is the turn that we Grasp Pass. We can Grasp the Burn Up and Shelter away, play the NIMBY to find a Nimblism, and Arsenal the Lightning Surge. I don't think this deck is griefing, Ian. Ask Noah. I think this is a real deck. I think she has the Acilio thing going on, where you're not going to know how to board into Cindra. You're going to board your D-React, and you're going to board 60, and you're just going to get killed by a deck that is running all of the block cards. I don't think this is a fake deck. I think this deck could be doing something. There's the Command and Conquer. I am not allowed to block this. Were you joking? If I block like this, I get to go Arc Lightning, Pitch to Kiss, send Lightning Surge. We're just playing the one matchup it's good into. Fatigue is very good against Aurora, especially when I'm not boarded for it. I also, of course, happen to have the last Command and Conquer in deck on the turn that I'm trying to set up. What if I just took 6 and let my Lightning Surge die? I go Skyward Serenade for Embodiment Skizzic, Nimblism sends 7, sends Scorpio, Arsenal, Arc Lightning. Or we block with the Nimblism, we have 2 left in deck. The turn is, yeah, Arc Lightning, Kiss, Scorpio. That can't be the best use of Arc Lightning, unfortunately. Take 6, lose the Surge, Skyward Serenade, Nimblism. I think we just take 6 here, unfortunately. This is also true. This game gets much better for me if I have a real weapon. But, in their infinite wisdom, LSS decided that the complaints about Aurora 1 were too strong and they had to completely gut everything interesting that the hero does, including having a 1-cost weapon. Okay, we're going to set up one more time. We've now seen 3 Command and Conquers. This hand is very good. We have so many ways to make this hand functional. We do not have a Nimblism in graveyard, unfortunately. So this Jack Me Nimble is definitely worse than we want it to be. We get to play Arc Lightning, play Burn Up Shock, play Skyward Serenade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arcane. Alternatively, we just don't burn up shock first. We give up the chance to connect with burn up shock on Jack Be Nimble to push one more point of arcane and get a guaranteed Scorpio. I think that is better. Strategically turning on our Scar for Scars. Rose, if your Cindra opponent played Fatigue into your gravy, you have to be ecstatic. I cannot imagine that you're sad about that. Cindra giving me the defense reaction on Jack Be Nimble is great, considering that we have the burn up shock in hand. We are going to play the burn up shock. See how much more arcane damage we can push. Create an embodiment, search for Skizzik. We'll get our 1 point of arcane from this as well. Skizzik attacking for 4 with Go again. Let's see if Cindra is going to give us more than just 1 card. She does not. She does have the Fate Foreseen here. So we are pushing 1 point of arcane from the Arc Lightning. We'll push 1 point from the Fry. Cindra can just fold the hand to stop the burn up shock. D-React City. That is hilariously bad for us. But this game generally is hilariously bad for us. Alright, she has chosen to take some damage. Will her turn just be... Really? So this has to be Sigil of Solace? I'm really surprised she didn't just give me a Furnace here. Let's play this Nimbleism, if for no other reason than to get it into our graveyard for our second copy of Jack Be Nimble. Come in with Path of Same Ends. Question is, what do I want to pitch in order to give this go again? Do I want to put a defense reaction in Arsenal, or do I want to put a 2-cost in Arsenal? We have 1 Serenade, 1 Arc Lightning, and 1 Current Funnel left in the deck. I think we're probably better off pitching the Sink Below and keeping the Kiss. Send our Scorpio here. Get the last card from Cindra's hand. That doesn't matter to her. She, again, just needs to sustain long enough. We are going to start drawing hands like this that don't do anything. We will just grasp and pass. We're looking for one of our 2 remaining quick successions. We could also find an Arc Lightning that makes this hand reasonable. But for the most part, I'm just here wasting all of your time. This game is basically unwinnable from the position that we're in. Claw and Dracai comes in for 1. Our turn is going to be play Quick Succession, pitch, shelter, and I suppose Snatch to pay for it. And then we can Nimby to find a Nimbleism setup. We're likely better off just with Scorpio, though, and Arsenal the Nimby, and look for our last Arc Lightning. We're very cooked here, Loquacious. This is the last Sigil of Solace, so at this point, the Cindra should have 2 more points of life in deck with Oasis Respite, but we only have 18 cards. I think if she just has What is this? 27 plus 5, 32 baubles in deck. I think we just die from this point. Tempestuous Kiss coming in for 7 with Go again. We will get to send Scorpio after this as well. Cindra turning a blue into 2 points of life and a card in deck. With 7, I wonder if we're either getting 2 defense reactions or an unmovable. I have to assume she is not playing unmovable, but maybe she is. This is truly, in the words of Fandal Spirit, a griefer. A Talishar griefer. Scorpio comes in for 1. Cindra will use the last point remaining on Blackout Kick to AB1. I wonder if that means I was supposed to Nimby. I think the answer is still no. Cindra does get the loop. Kunai, Claw, Flick, Rebuy Kunai. My hand is not very good. We have 2 burn-ups left in deck. Cindra is looking at 1 Fate Foreseen and 2 Shelters left. I think we are just waiting. We will pitch Current Funnel to Grasp. I think we're just going to IP the press. We need it to line up with our burn-up shock. And I think we're waiting on this Nimby to come in with Arc Lightning. Rainfall says, I genuinely struggle to see why you would play this deck over Ira if you want to do a fatigue-oriented ninja strategy. Ask chat and the answer is you shouldn't. There are a few reasons that you would do. I mean, this is Talishar, right? If this person was going to a Calling, they might not be doing this. But on Talishar, who cares? They sat down wanting to play this deck. I'm the one who's wasting my time. They're doing exactly what they want to be doing with Cindra. And as Darkodius has said, this is the best, Aurora Legacy of Tempest is the best deck to do Fatigue Cindra 2. I am one of the most easily fatigable decks in Flesh and Blood because my weapon cannot attack on its own. I need to deplete my deck in order to attack with Scorpio. Which is why Aurora is so much, one of several reasons why Aurora Legacy of Tempest is so much worse than Aurora Shooting Star. The loss of Starfall is so incredibly detrimental to this hero. What do I get to do here? I get to Skyward Serenade. This is my last one. I can Embodiment Skizzic. Come in with Nimby. Find a Nimblism. Strike, draw a card. Interesting choice because there are a lot of ways in which Cindra just draws like a 3-block blue that they don't want to put in their arsenal. I can block with Grasp because why not? This is my last Serenade and my last Skizzic. The answer is likely Path, Pitch Snatch, Scorpio, and just, again, wait. Does the modern Aurora 2 deck use its hero power like ever? Redline Aurora, like I'm playing, never uses the hero power. It is impossible for me to create flow in this deck. There is no way for me to do it. It's, again, one of several reasons why Aurora Legacy of Tempest is so much worse than Aurora Shooting Star. Your hero power doesn't exist in many cases. It's very bad. I cannot overstate how much worse this hero is than Aurora Shooting Star. Lacking the elemental text is huge. Lacking a hero power is huge. Lacking a anti-fatigable weapon is huge. There was some Voltaire's late game anti-fatigue loop that uses it. Yes, there is. That is one of the ways that Aurora players have come up with to not get fatigued, it's just very bad. It's so incredibly fringe because you have to play 3 Ominous Excavations and Voltaris and Gone in a Flash. You also need to maintain enough of a life lead or enough of a life total that you can have a 4-card hand at the end of the game that you just never block with. You would really only get value by doing that if you knew for a fact that you were not going to get killed. Like, it is just hard fatigue. I wanted to hold the press, Ian, just in case, like, this second strike turned into, like, if this was burn-up shock. We will search for a Nimblism here. Is the Fabry card up? Or you're seeing it? I see. Arc Lightning will ping for 1. I get to close the chain. We will Skyward Serenade for Embodiment Skizzik. I get to shoot my opponent for 1. We're going to see what this Nimblism does. If this Nimblism shoots Cindra and they take the damage, then that's fine. I'll just play out the rest of the turn. If it doesn't, I'm going to use the Go Again on Skizzik to shoot myself so that second strike is online. The Skizzik is currently attacking for 7 with Go Again. If they take damage from the Skizzik, then I'm set. I just shoot them with the Arcane. If they don't take damage with the Skizzik, cool. So now I just shoot them. The point was I wanted to turn on Second Strike, and Second Strike just says damage has been dealt. It doesn't care who the damage is being dealt to. So I would have shot myself to turn on the Second Strike. I would have taken a point of damage to deal 2 more points of damage from Second Strike having an extra point of power and from shooting Cindra. And also lets me attack with Scorpio. All right, I'm going to need to check out this new Mario card. We'll finish the game, and then I will bring the Mario card up on stream and we'll talk about it. Cindra goes to 18, gives me Claw and Dracai. Again, I cannot overstate how over this game is. We'll Grasp. I will Nimblism. I will Snatch. I can probably press this. I really want to just connect. The problem is, I think the only cards left in our deck really are defense reactions, which, as you can imagine, won't help. I'm going to Lightning Press here because this doesn't matter anymore. But I should not press here. I should be saving the press to address Burn-Up Shock. Should be saving the press to get Burn-Up Shock through. But we don't have enough cards in our deck to beat our opponent. I'm going to play this game out knowing that the game has ended. This turn is pretty sick, though. We get to Quick Succession. There's 1 Burn-Up Shock. The Quick Succession, Burn-Up Shock. This fuck is going to wind up in hell. This is truly a terrible game of Flesh and Blood. I truly hope that our opponent did not enjoy themselves, because this is awful for everyone involved. Except for them, I guess. Like I said, they're having a blast. This is exactly what they wanted when they queued into this game. We will Scorpio. I believe, are ending this game with them at 16. A thrill-a-minute stream. Thank you all for being here. I'm even going to give him the good game at the end of this. Play the Grasp. We'll burn up Shock. Let them pitch. I'll Snatch. Let them put 2 cards in front of this. I'm going to let them attack me 1 time so that I can block with all 4 of my remaining defense reactions, and then I will concede the game. That is what I want from this. Blocking for 3. The biggest block on Kunai that you have ever seen. Give him the good game, and we concede. What a terrible game of Flesh and Blood this was. Why can I not look at their... Did my concession not go through? Concede. I want to look at what's in their terrible deck. Just a bunch of blue blocks. Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this terrible game as much as I enjoyed playing it. Let's pop over to Fabry. I want to see what this card is. That is apparently Marionette support, because Marionette really needed the support. Oh, it won't be on Fabry yet. Discord, click. Why can I not bring this up? Usually I can bring this up on my internet. Oh well. Deadly Spinneret is a 0-cost red assassin attack action. It attacks for 3 and blocks for 3. It has stealth. As an instant, you may discard this to equip a Graphene Calycera token to each of your empty weapon zones. What an absolutely absurd card that Marionette didn't need. Slippy will play this too, but Slippy does not care about Graphene Calycera nearly as much as Marionette does. I mean, I guess if they weren't going to ban anything from Marionette, then they should just LL it. Marionette is in kind of this weird place right now where it is a top deck, but it isn't the top deck. And if you aren't Jacob Clements, has a very hard time getting past the top deck. So yeah, I guess if they just want Marionette to leave, which I don't see why they wouldn't at this point, just print something that pushes it out. And Deadly Spinneret is going to be that card. And then Slippy will get to use it, and it will be worse. It won't be bad in Slippy. And I have certainly lost games of Flesh and Blood as Slippy because I got my opponent down so low, but then didn't have the dagger to kill them with flick knives, and Deadly Spinneret will be 2 points of damage from flicking 2 Calyceras. Kind of funny that the new card can get rippled sometimes. If you ripple away Deadly Spinneret, say your opponent had 2 open weapon slots, and you ripple away Deadly Spinneret, would they make 1 Calycera or no Calycera? Would ripple away trigger twice on 2 separate attempts to create a Graphene Calycera in each empty weapon zone? Or would it say you are trying to create 2 Calyceras, so you will get 1? I don't think that will matter a lot, but it sure will matter sometimes. Anyway, you're not here to watch me talk about Marionette. You're here to watch me play a much worse hero than Arachne Marionette. Teklovossen. I, again, will attempt to play this game. We'll put on Face Purgatory. I think this is still an Ironweave matchup. This isn't a Tunic matchup. Against Teklovossen, we will assume that they are trying to do big robot things, as in I will board for fatigue as opposed to boarding for boost. We'll see. I'm getting the weird matchups today. The last time I played Aurora on stream, we got a bunch of straightforward aggro decks and it was great. Today I've gotten Fatigue Cindra and now Teklovossen. So I don't know what everyone's doing. Maybe all of the CC grinders who are playing wheel decks are in Calling Kansas City, and now I'm just getting people who want to play their pet deck on Talishar. You hope this Teklo resolves cards. This is not a bad opening hand of cards. I will grasp. I'm giving them the opportunity to do something on their turn, which is spooky. But I think that's fine. I mean, really, this hand didn't do much, even if I do keep it. And now I get to do something on my turn, which is cool. Ghost Protocol Architect. This attack, search your deck for an Evo with cost less than or equal to the number of Evos you have equipped, banish it, then shuffle. Turboing out 2 Evos at the start of the game is pretty good. We're definitely not blocking this. Teklo pitches, equips the base chest. IP2s, got him. And I have strategically turned my Scar for a Scar online. We are going to... I believe we are going to Nimbleism Scar for a Scar. We are going to Lightning Surge. Something is going to get pressed, and then we are going to Scorpio, and I'm going to Arsenal Jack Be Nimble. I want to maximize my Scorpio, so while I would rather have the Lightning Surge in Arsenal than the Jack Be Nimble, I do want to put a lightning attack on the chain. Dave the Pyro asks, have I seen Jacob's spoiler? We were just talking about it. The card is cracked. It's going to LL Marionette. It will be good in Slippy. It is potentially, just on its face, potentially a 0 for 5 in Slippy, because you get to attack for 3 and make 2 Calycera. Then you get to say it's possibly a 0 for 7, assuming that you are flicking both of the Calyceras. Then you get to say it's possibly a 0 for 9 if you attack with each of the Calyceras before you flick them. Very interesting card. Got the Scar being completely blocked out. I think I am going to press this. Not because I'm pushing an on hit, but because I will get full value out of my press, and I think that's worth it. I'm a little surprised to see the Teklovossen commit so many blocks to a vanilla 7. Also considering that I just showed them a Scar for a Scar, I think without having a burn-up shock on the board, it would have been better for them to not block with a base head. Take the 1 to put them at equal life total to me so that I could not get go again on another Scar for a Scar. It's the weird math of tracking your opponent's Scar for Scars and just making sure that they can't get go again as much as possible. Command and Conquer is extremely rude, opponent, and I really wish you hadn't done that. I can block 6 here. Protect the Scar for protect the Jack Be Nimble. My line is then Nimbleism, send Jack Be Nimble, play Potion of Strength. I do need to set these up. I put a Serenade in Arsenal. I think that's fine. If I don't block, I go to 33, I lose my Jack Be Nimble. My line is Nimbleism, E-Strike 10. I think it's better to block here. Take our 6, send our 7 with go again, lay down the potion, and start setting up. That is my plan in this matchup. That is why I'm doing this. Alternatively, I could Skyward Serenade for Scorpio. We get a defense reaction from our opponent. I will just close the chain, lay down the potion, set up for the Arc Lightning turn, and pass. We have interesting things going on. Opponent pitches Singularity, so we know that is their plan. Do I want to send Kiss this turn? War Machine attacking for 6. This is the Arsenal one. Wish I hadn't let my opponent undo their turn, because this is much better for them. Maybe I wasn't supposed to Arsenal. This isn't a boost Teklo. It could be, and they just haven't drawn the boost attacks, but I'm leaning towards no. If we block with Skizik, I still get to Serenade, Skizik, Close Chain, Quick Succession, Ironweave, Tempestuous Kiss, Scorpio. I am unfortunately losing a point of value from Quick Succession, but I am doing the thing. What really sucks about this is I have to use my armor. The War Machine here was very well timed, but I suppose it could have been any of them, War Machine or Terminator Tank, that would have just gotten me. Find a Skizik, send 4, go again. Just looking for that Arc Lightning. This will be a good turn. Our opponent has very little armor to actually block anything. The Kiss is going to attack for 7 because of Quick Succession. And I get to Scorpio at the end of this turn. So let's see how our opponent wants to address this. We do get a card, Yellow Liquid Cooled Mayhem is interesting. I assume this is a defense reaction. If I am them, depending on what this is, I'm taking 1 from the Scorpio and then A being 1. The classic. Nope, just giving me the base chest. Alright, let's find an Arc Lightning. That's not an Arc Lightning. Just have the Evo. Yikers. We are going to lead with Rabble and just see what the top of our deck is. I am finding the fun piles today. Rabble, revealing Rabble, the classic. We have an Exude Confidence in Arsenal, so I'm not overly concerned about clearing this. I'm thinking the line is going to be Rabble, Fry, Path of Samens. And if the path connects, then I'll probably just send the Snatch and hold the Exude. Again, looking for the Arc Lightning turn. If the path doesn't connect, if my opponent pitches to AB1, I'll just pitch the Snatch so that I can Scorpio. Let's see if they're going to AB1. Thinking about it, they say, makes sense. I have 2 more cards between my hand and Arsenal. They don't know what those are. For all they know, it's 2 second strikes. And they are really committed to me not dealing damage here. Or they AB1, maybe they block 3. To give this go again, I have to pitch a card. They don't know what my last card is. I'm not going to give them any information until I need to. After damage, we will pitch to give the path go again. And then I'll Scorpio. Our opponent does have Battle Worn 1 available with the base legs that they are using to block Scorpio. I still disagree with them doing this because they have floating resources. I think it's better for them to save their block value for when I'm presenting breakpoints with Snatch than when I am sending a Scorpio because they have floating resources for AB1. Quick Succession is really going to make this turn pop. I get to Quick Succession, Current Funnel, Exude Confidence, Ravenous Rabble, Arsenaling Path of Saemons if I want to, or just sending it. So let's play the Quick Succession into... We could also just send Path, which would get the guaranteed go again. Attacking for 4, that turns on Current Funnel, that turns on Exude. I think that's probably better, come to think of it. I can Arsenal this Rabble if our opponent just goes down to few enough cards to threaten Command and Conquer or War Machine. This also encourages them to not pitch to AB, which is fine. I need them to take damage. Show me a defense reaction. Damn it. Damn it. They did. I didn't want them to show me a defense reaction. That makes this Exude Confidence so much worse. Current Funnel will attack for 3, which is less exciting. Opponent is going to Fabricate. See what the 2 modes are? The modes are Evo Permanents get +1 block, and banish an Evo and draw a card. Banishing base legs. I assume we're going to get some block value from these to cover the Scorpio. I could just use all 3 to cover the Current Funnel if they really wanted to. Getting a War Machine block from hand is interesting. Makes me wonder if they have either another War Machine or a Terminator tank or a Command and Conquer, just something that is disruptive. Exude Confidence gets the last instant of +1 from Quick Succession, meaning that it comes in for 5. Our opponent is going to give us the other base equipment. They will use their base head to cover the Scorpio. I'm fine to Arsenal this Rabble, considering that my opponent only has 1 card. I know that they cannot disrupt my arsenal. It was a very good defensive turn for my opponent. But we have some gas here. Opponent has no more armor left, so I am very likely looking at using Snapdragons to get this burn-up value. We did see, I want to say, a Soul Steel head that they used to pitch to play a War Machine. Opponent activates Teklovossen to put down base legs. Let's see if they want to pitch to Burn Up Shock. I hope they do. We are going to... Oh, I don't have a Nimblism left in my deck. This Nimby is looking not great then. Does that change how my turn plays out? I don't think it does. This might be a Potion of Strength turn. I think what I'm doing first is sending the Rabble and just seeing how my opponent blocks it, showing press on top. Perfect. I could have used that. Could I trade the press on top of my deck for the Nimblism in my hand? Would anyone object if I did that? See how our opponent wants to block this. I am now going to close chain. We're going to Nimblism, Snatch. Representing 7. My intention is to Snapdragon this. I'm assuming the Teklovossen is going to block the Snatch. So my intention is to Snapdragon, then close chain, break the Potion of Strength, and send the Nimby. I do not need to search because I don't care about shuffling my deck. I kind of want the Lightning Press that's on top. Assuming my opponent doesn't have a defense reaction in Arsenal, this Nimby will hit. We will get the burn-up damage through. Your friend feels his Aurora is weak into the nut. I also got him on Tough Nut yesterday. What do you think? I believe I am undefeated. Speaking of being defeated, I need to update the win-loss record. I believe my Aurora is undefeated into Teklovossen, into Tough Nut currently. You just go too wide for them to effectively block. Hey, this hand is not great. We are going to grasp and then kiss. We threaten some damage at least. Our opponent doesn't know that we have another lightning press. We showed them a lightning press with Ravenous Rabble and then pitched a lightning press, so they might not suspect that we have another one. I cannot press Tempestuous Kiss. It'd be cool if I could. Just thinking as far as if our opponent has Disruption in the arsenal, I can't play around it. I'm hoping that my opponent just has a normal-ass turn. This hand is not bad. Definitely not blocking this. Let's see what else our opponent is going to do. If they have a way to use these two floating resources. Liquid Cooled Mayhem is just 6. 1 for 6 is pretty good. Turns out, we have a few different ways to play this hand, actually. We are at a higher life total, so Scar for Scar doesn't have Go Again. I think what we have a few ways to do this. So we can Arc Lightning, which gives our next thing Go Again. It would give the Potion of Strength Go Again if I wanted to lay down this Potion of Strength. The problem is between Scar and Potion, that is using our action point. There isn't like a good way to sequence this turn. We could pitch the Potion of Strength into Grasp of the Arknight if we really wanted to. We could also use the Potion of Strength this turn, go Arc Lightning, play Potion, get our action point back, use Potion, Rabble Scar. We can't Scorpio, so there's no consideration for not playing the Scar or playing somehow differently so that we optimize a Scorpio. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arcane from Arc Lightning, if we use it on the Potion. I think that is now the best way to play this. This is our first Arc Lightning. Our opponent has shown us defense reactions, but they haven't shown us enough that make me think we need to line this up with Exude Confidence. They've also shown us 5D reacts. I gotta think the Exude is not going to be very good. Now we'll play the Potion. We get our action point back. We shoot our opponent for 1. We'll use the Potion of Strength. We shoot our opponent for 1. They get to fully use this blue, which is a little tragic. But it means that this Rabble is going to send arcane damage. Showing the Exude on top of our deck. Perfect. We're very likely to get 1 arcane through this Rabble. We'll see how our opponent blocks. If they keep 2 cards after we attack with the Scar, I'm going to just press. Assuming that they have Arsenal Disruption. Showing us a Fate. So we can put them on having 3 defense reactions left in the deck at least. Assuming 1 Shelter, 2 Fates. That might be wrong. Hit our opponent for 2. We will ping them for 1. Let's come in with Scar for 4, no Go Again. And just see if our opponent, again, if they put at least 1 card in front of this, I'm not blocking with press. If they put no cards in front of it, I will press and negate as much as possible getting hit by this last War Machine or any Command and Conquers that may be left in the deck. As far as Evo Soul Steel, we're looking at 3 copies. Feels like they just aren't trying to set it up. I'm pretty confident that they're not looking to Singularity me, though I suppose they could with just the base equipment. We still do not have any Nimbleisms left in our deck, which means how do we want to sequence this turn? Do I want to send a Scorpio here? We can Skyward Serenade. We have 2 Skizzics left. Although with only 2 Skizzics, maybe we want to save our Serenade? We just go Serenade for +1 go again. Send Exude Confidence for 5 go again. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Embodiment buff. Send Exude Confidence for 5 go again. We have a press to make this big. We know that our opponent has defense reactions and fabricates. We'll see what they block with. There's a fun trick that you can do. This is currently blocking for less than Exude, so we don't have to worry about the cool trick that we could have done, which is if our opponent, say, blocked with a 6-power CNC, War Machine, Terminator Tank, whatever, we could play Lightning Press in the defense step before we go to reactions, so that we make the Exude big enough that it gets over the attack power of the defending card without giving your opponent the chance to react. Because if we play Press in the reaction step, our opponent can respond with a defense reaction, but if we do it in defense step, our opponent is not at the point yet where they can. Blocking with a Terminator Tank. I don't believe this is a Command and Conquer. Or something that disrupts my arsenal. Do I want to play the press just to... I'm going to play the press just to be safe. I want to play around arsenal destruction as much as possible. It's very interesting Exude tech, and that was back from Aurora 1 days, where it was especially relevant against Enigma. Well, now I wish I had the Lightning Press. I'm glad that we didn't burn our last Skizzik. I think we are probably doing burn up this turn. I think that's fine. We're just looking to keep control of this game. I don't deal arcane damage outside of this burn up, so if our opponent AB1s, that's pretty good for me. They are going to Teklovossen at instant speed. Playing out Evo Short Circuit. They're still just down a card. I took 1 from this? Interesting. They take 1, that's great. Our second strike is online. We will Embodiment Skizzik. Find our last Skizzik, send our Skizzik. We get to go 4, 4, 3, 1. Do you block? You do not have block value. So the Scorpio could connect, and that could be how we get our burn up. Very curious to see what this card is, because I want to know if I would have gotten punished for keeping that Lightning Press. Because here the Lightning Press would be great. Opponent blocking 6 on 4 is incredible for us. That's really good. We will come in with second strike. Let our opponent know that, wow, you really could have done something to play around this turn. Or if they don't have the defense reaction, they just die. This game is looking a little over. Does our opponent have something? Ah, it was the Command and Conquer. We would have gotten punished. We would have held our Lightning Press. Our opponent, instead of pitching the Evo Steel Soul to AB1, they would have gone gun CNC, and I would have lost my press. Our opponent would have been at 3 more health, so they still would have died. But, you know, it was still a fine call by me. Is our opponent on Rainbow Liquid Cooled Mayhem? It looks like it. That is a lot of Liquid Cool Mayhem. This is 100% the Tim's version of the deck from the Teklo Discord. I love this version. What makes this better or worse or just different than traditional Teklo? I don't know anything about the deck. Oh, plays Pummel as well. No Pummel here. I could see it. Aurora can be pretty aggressive. And I don't play Pummel against certain decks on Jarl that I know are going to be aggressive. Like, I don't play Pummel against Cindra because I know she's going to go so fast. Maybe they just didn't bring Pummel against Aurora because it blocks 2, and if you aren't keeping big hands, then you don't get to pummel anyone ever. Exude is a card that tickles my brain. It's a very cool card. It's definitely less good now, but it is very cool. Hala. We get to go second, which is great. We are playing the standard equipment loadout. This is a matchup where I bring in defense reactions. Let's see if I get punished by, what was it, Hussar Hala is what we're supposed to call it, because block slop is offensive. Showing me gloves, this is fine. It means I'm a lot less likely to get blown out by Beckon Steel. This opening hand is not incredible. We're going to grasp. We'll current funnel. I am going to Nimblism first. Just want to get one into graveyard for Jack be Nimble. Send a Rabble. Showing a Nimblism on top. Okay, we're probably not attacking with Snatch. We'll just Arsenal it and set up a bigger hand. Oh, never mind. If our opponent doesn't want to block, then I will send the Snatch and say, give me armor or give me cards. I do really like setting up a 5-card hand as Aurora, but it isn't strictly mandatory. What the fuck is this? Jesus. Zenith Blade for 4 and 4. This hand is terrible. What is with these Nimblisms and the Nimby showing up together? So awkward. I think I'm just taking damage, unfortunately. My line is going to be really bad. I guess it's probably better for me to just block 4. Send the Nimby, don't search, and then Arsenal and Nimbilism. Just terrible. Really bad. What a turn. I actually suppose it would have been better to not block with the Nimbilism, take the 2, and then send the extra, send 3 here. It's just better combat math, considering that I am an aggro deck, so that's on me. Oof, these are not the hands. Probably just looking to face Purgatory here. It isn't insane. It does limit her options. This hand just isn't very good. Is my Arsenal? My Arsenal is a Nimbilism. Oh my god. I just can't get anything going. This game is not treating me well. As we're just going to lose this Nimbilism, and then we will Jack be Nimble for 4 and Arsenal a Shelter. Drawing very poorly. Now, it was a little greedy of me to block the Zenith Blade there. I definitely could have waited and been rewarded by it, but our deck is certainly bricking. Have we attacked with a lightning attack this game? This is rough. This is a little rough. We'll just take some damage here. The current funnel does make this turn do something. Holy. Chat, I'm a little annoyed. I'm a little annoyed about this game right now. Our opponent is drawing some heat, and we are drawing some poop. I'm going to burn up Shock just so that this turn functions. We now get to current funnel into Skizzik into Scorpio. I'm not expecting anything to hit, but it'll at least do something. It was a Victor 1 trick since I started playing the game. At the start of Hunted, I play Teklo only exclusively now that he is LL'd. You are trading the best deck in the format for a different option. Cilio, Cindra, Marionette are all generally pretty unwinnable. Exactly what I like to hear when I'm choosing my deck for the format. This is rough. This is rough. We are not drawing functional hands of cards. We can send a Snatch, Snap It, Tempestuous Kiss, which just gets cards from our opponent. Think that's fine. We just try to buy some time. Alternatively, if our opponent is going to say, here's a defense reaction, I might just make them do it. I think this is still worth it. This just feels terrible. This is the most Runebladey game of Aurora I've had in a while. These hands are unplayable. And I'm glad that you're all seeing it. Just to get 2 cards away from our opponent and see what they're going to do with their 2-card hand. If it's third Command and Conquer, I'm going to be real unhappy about it. Just then I played for 3. We get to just send the hand. I think it's still worth holding this defense reaction as much as our opponent has really been on it with Command and Conquers. I think it's still fine. I guess I could have kept them off the Vigor. Rabble, please reveal a red. Chat, we aren't meant to win this game. Sometimes the game just tells you you are not meant to win. Sometimes the game just says no. This is, so far, one of those games. I'll take this opportunity to tell you all something that I should have been telling you for the last hour and 15 minutes, which is I am streaming on Twitch now. If anyone wants to support me on Twitch, if you, one, enjoy watching on Twitch more than you enjoy watching on YouTube. Fiddler's Green. Is this the Block Slop deck? Is that what's happening here? I should link you all to my Twitch if you were so inclined to support me. No, this is the right one. If you're all so inclined, you can watch me on Twitch. Otherwise, you can continue to watch me on YouTube. I don't have a problem with that. Opponent coming in for 8, go again. I suspect they just pitched the last card to send 5 after this. I think this is when I'm supposed to use my defense reactions, because they could show me a Beck and Steel, and I get to say no. Do I want to bottom a card to sink below? I think the answer is no. Suppose I could bottom Path of Same Ends, but I think I'm fine to not do that. I think we just send Serenade, Skizzik into Path and see if they have the AB1, and then I Arsenal a Lightning Surge. This is my last Skizzik, which is terrible. It's my first Serenade. How did this happen? I guess I blocked with the Skizzicks. Yikes. There's our opponent's second Beck and Steel. They blocked with the first one. Do 1 point of damage. See if they want to pitch to the Path of Same Ends. I suspect they might. They could just give me a card. Take 3, or not. I am not going to pitch the Lightning Surge. I'm going to Arsenal it because it's much better out of Arsenal. This hand is not bad. Probably looking at just doing Scar. I could do Scar Second Strike, see what the block situation looks like. I wouldn't mind keeping this press in my arsenal. We still have 2 burn-ups in the deck. Just kind of depends on, do I think they're going to keep me off this path of same ends? Now we have an interesting question, is how are we going to continue to follow up? I think I'm happy to send the Lightning Surge now. I want to see how my opponent keeps blocking. We haven't seen that third CNC yet. And I just want to see how they're going to address what's happening. If they AB1 here, then I likely... So if they do AB1, are they going to block? Because they say no, my answer is I will press. Just get the 6 and then say go. Playing around the Command and Conquer that I think they might have. Again, this NIMBY does not have text. Because I continue to draw very poorly. Do I want to block to keep my opponent off of a Vigor? I think yes. And I might be looking at E-Strike, draw a card, bottoming the NIMBY, and then I'll just press the E-Strike. It's pretty heavily telegraphed what I'm doing when I make this play, that I have at least one Lightning Press. I will do at least one Lightning Press and just see what the rest of my opponent's turn looks like. Covering 6 in total, that's fine. Arsenal to press and hope I don't get punished. We are going to shelter the Zenith Blade. I've made this mistake too many times of getting blown out by the Command and Conquer, so we will shelter here. Zenith Blade for 4 is fine. I am going to, unfortunately, not play this Tempestuous Kiss. I believe... This is an interesting situation to be in. This turn would be a lot different if I didn't have this press in my arsenal, because I'd really be looking to arsenal the Surge. The problem is that I don't have any go again. I don't have a way to activate Ironweave. So we're in a weird spot where I don't know how I should block. It might be blocked with Current Funnel. Send 7 between Surge and Press, and then arsenal the Kiss. And wait for any of the Arc Lightnings that I haven't seen. Any of the Serenades that I'm still waiting on. I think I like that. I'm giving them a grain here, which I'm unhappy about. Isn't the play to press the Kiss? You cannot press a Kiss. Lightning Press can only target attack action cards with cost 1 or less, and Tempestuous Kiss blocks 2. Believe me, I would love to make that play. I would love to be able to press a Kiss, but you cannot. That is a reason why Storm Shard, the 1 for 3, of course, they always have the Command and Conquer when I'm trying to line something up. With the Command and Conquer, I think the line is block 6, go Arc Lightning, Snatch, Ironweave, Kiss is really the only way I can do it. What happens if I just let the Kiss die? Nothing really exciting. This is just an unfortunate situation to be in, where if they don't have the CNC here, this turn is really cool. They do pitch, which is great. They have very little armor left, so this Kiss is likely going to threaten something. Close the chain. We'll activate Ironweave. Our opponent gets to fully convert this blue, which is tragic for me. Oh, they don't, so we're just going to send Kiss. I wonder what they're saving the resource for. Oasis Respite? We push 2. Tempestuous Kiss doesn't have an effect. Its hand is unplayably bad. Oh boy. These are not the hands. We'll just block this. We are going to pitch Quick Succession into Grasp and then pass. Arsenal and Arc Lightning. Our opponent doesn't have any more Command and Conquers, so they should not be able to do anything. Serenade does not have a Skizzic to find, which is a real shame because it would be very good. Opponent Edict of Steel's Zenith Blades. I'm not blocking this. Sure, some dumb stuff happens. Hala just being Hala. It's fine. This isn't like particularly good for her. I'm just salty because I can't draw well. We will Arc Lightning. We know we have one left in the deck, so we're not like going full here. You think you're starting to see the issue with this Aurora deck? Please believe me when I tell you it isn't just this Aurora deck. Aurora generally has a problem, and the problem is what happens if my opponent just blocks. I'm going to pitch this Serenade into Grasp because I represent a little more damage that way. I just needed to burn through the Rune Chant first. We pew-pew our opponent. Not the best use of Shelter from the Storm in my opinion, but it will be good enough. I suppose they didn't know what the rest of our turn was going to look like, but they could have easily gotten their 4 value out of Shelter instead of just 3. They make a flurry. We get to send Scorpio. If they don't give me Grains, it will connect. They do give me Grains. The last Fiddlers come down, puts our opponent to 14. We continue to draw hands that don't really do anything. I'm just going to pass, I guess. Very disheartened by this chat. This is not the fun Aurora gameplay that I was really looking forward to today. This is a real fucking slog of just drawing hands that don't function very well. This could be our opponent's last Beckon Steal, which I should have thought about when I made my blocking decisions. I think the line is going to be Arc Lightning, E-Strike Draw, we'll bottom the burn up. Jack Be Nimble will have go again. Do we have a press left? We do not. Yeah, we're going to lose this game. Our opponent has just pivoted to Fatigue. We will not beat our opponent with a deck of 24 baubles. I cannot Scorpio this turn. Like, we're threatening good damage here. This Arc Lightning is doing work. We get to send a bunch of 4/4/4s, but it's not going to be enough. Just feel like Kiss is always awkward with the red line build. I have had good success with it using the Aether Ironweave. Truly, this game has been cursed. There have been so many just non-functional hands of cards. The Skyward Serenade, I've had 3 Serenades with 1 Skizzic in deck, 3 Nimbleisms before I drew a Nimby. These games are just... The games I've been playing today have been very bad. I have not had so many bad games with this deck for as long as I've been playing it. I mean, our opponent presented, as far as I can tell, just 60 cards. That should be winnable for us, and we just didn't find it. I don't think they're on a fatigue list. They just happened to be playing Fiddler's Greens. They're on 2 Fiddlers. We're just sort of getting some bad beats today. I think Ironweave is really nice for the 1 guaranteed kiss, but every other feels like... That's true. So I'm just trying to make this deck do something. Like, Kiss has been very good, again, in the aggro mirrors, which we should be seeing more of, but our games today have been Fatigue Cindra, Teklovossen, Hala. I have a hard time with anything other than Dando's list. I haven't seen Dando's list. But I gotta tell you, it really doesn't matter what the Aurora list is. She's not top 8ing. Her best result was 24th at Pro Tour Vegas. And the CC record was 6-3. That's not enough to top 8 a calling. It's not enough to day 2 a calling. She's in a very bad spot currently. She doesn't get to play the elemental cards. She doesn't have a hero power. Her weapon doesn't play through fatigue at all. Even Starfall, you could just send 1. You weren't great into fatigue without Flicker Wisp, but you at least had something to do. And Scorpio is not something to do. She's just in a bad spot. Do you think there's going to be a spoiler for Aurora? I sure hope so. We haven't seen one yet. You know, this is the Runeblade set, the second Runeblade set in a row. We had so many people dooming... First of all, we had so many people dooming over Aurora in Omens. What is happening today? We had so many people dooming over Aurora in Omens to just get this half-baked bad hero. And then we had people dooming over, well, we're getting the second Runeblade set. And so far has been unplayable. If our opponent just passes, I'll be very sad. Helm of Sharp Eye. Manage the top card of your deck. You may play it this combat chain. Activate this ability only if you control a weapon with power greater than twice its base. This is the Unity one. So this is a budget build? Set and Dominate, it would get go again. Am I just taking 3 here? I think I'm taking 3. It would get go again, but our opponent has to pitch the last card. I think we're just sinking, and I'm gonna sink my shelter. And if our opponent commits to sending the Dawnblade a second time, then I will block with Grasp. And I guess at this point, an Arc Lightning. Alright, perfect. Love it. I think the Arc Lightning is a better card to block with than the Quick Succession. What is the equipment for Dory? I think this is just a budget Dory build. It could also be a new player. There was a route in hand that I think she was supposed to play in some way. Oh my gosh. What are these hands? That's fine. Quick Succession, double Quick Succession pitch. We'll make a Rune Chant. Scar for a Scar does have go again. Not that we need it. But I get to put an Arc Lightning in Arsenal. Maybe our opponent doesn't block the Scar for a Scar because they think we're holding something to follow up. They don't want to commit to blocking the Scar, and then I snatch them. I have to imagine this is either budget Dory or a new Dory. Because yes, this equipment is all wrong. We are getting... Isn't there the new Warrior card? Is it in Mastery Pack? One of them that makes Helm of Sharp Eye not terrible. I think this is just a new player. This hand is likely good. Am I trying to burn up here? So I can just go Fry, Current Funnel, E-Strike, bottom burn up. I wonder if it's better to Arc Lightning instead of frying. We can go Arc Lightning, Current Funnel, E-Strike Bottom Burn Up, Fry. I think that's better. Driving Blade for 4, go again. There's nothing behind this. That's fine. We have no resource to follow up. We will Arc Lightning here. Our opponent is AB0, I'm now realizing. So this Arc Lightning is going to be massive. As far as sequencing goes, I don't think it matters whether we go Fry Current Funnel E-Strike or Current Funnel E-Strike Fry. E-Strike is going to bottom burn up and draw a card. If I can play it this turn, that's great. Otherwise, it goes in the arsenal. I get to Scorpio this turn. Shelter and Arsenal is not bad against Dory. If you were curious about the Dando list, it's part of the latest min-max deck tech, very similar to a lot of the red line lists, but he's way down on Quick Succession, running Flying High and 4 Nimblisms. What does Flying High do that Quick Succession doesn't? Just turn on your Scarfers and snatches? I was unimpressed by Flying High when I tried it, and 4 Nimblisms is interesting. I assume he's on 3 red, 1 blue. What is he using the blue one for? Like, what does he need the resources for? Let's see if we get a Bolter's block on the Scorpio. There's a no. We're going to push 2 points of damage through and then just Arsenal the Shelter. Yeah, it works on the generics. Is that good? Dawnblade coming for 3 with go again. I do kind of want to get below my opponent on life total. I wonder if... I mean, this hand functions if I'm higher on life total or even. I can snap. I can Nimby Snapdragon, Close Chain, Nimblism, Jack be Nimble, banish the Nimblism I just had. Second Strike probably has go again in some way. Like, at some point I've hit. It's a yellow Nimby or yellow Nimblism? I think I'm just taking 3. Nimby, Snap, Nimblism. Sorry, Scar for a Scar, Nimby, Snap, Close Chain, Nimblism, Jack be Nimble, Second Strike, Scorpio. Oh, the Dawnblade gets a counter. I don't care about that. That's gotta be worse, right? I should try his list at some point, but you can't tell me, hey bro, Quick Succession's worse than yellow Nimblism. That is... I guess we're throwing shit at the wall anyway. It isn't like she's good with the whatever the optimal build is. There is no optimal build. We're just waiting on a spoiler for Aurora. Which I do need to address something that came up in a discussion I was having. Who asked the question, do I think Aurora is going to get a spoiler? That's... Even that is like a double-edged sword. If she gets a spoiler or not, I need to not play this right now. I need to Nimby. Because I'm going to Close Chain, I need the Second Strike on my second chain so that I can Scorpio. The problem with Aurora getting a spoiler is that LSS has already come out and said that Skyward Serenade is not a guarantee. They're really like looking to remove Serenade from the game because it was a mistake. If Skyward Serenade is the only thing holding Aurora together right now. If Serenade leaves, Aurora goes back to what she was before, which is unplayable. There is no Aurora build that is competitive in any sense of the word. So that is the big problem with Aurora getting a cool new spoiler, is that we're just trading a good card for a good card. she needs Serenade to be competitive. I cannot think of a card that LSS could print that not only makes Aurora competitive as is, but would also make her so competitive that she no longer needs Skyward Serenade. I think it's too soon regarding the dev cycle for Aurora to get a spoiler. You mean generally it is too soon, like Omens just came out and so it's too early for her to get a new card? Or you mean like we're not on Lightning yet? Narzareth, thank you for following me on Twitter. If you're watching this on YouTube and you would like to follow me on Twitter as well, that would be super fucking helpful so that I can get affiliate as quickly as possible. I'm going to put this in chat again. Please watch. Please go on Twitch, hang out for a little bit, like and subscribe, do all the things. I'm going to say that attack reactions don't exist, and this Shelter from the Storm is definitely going to cover the 6, and I am not going to get blown out. AIviewersstreamboot.com. Is that real? Should I delete that message? Heated Bedroll 6 is. Do we think they're a bot? Does Twitch care if I have bots? As far as I know, we're seeing spoilers for Omens heroes. They exist. I also think, yes, as Phoenix is saying, Ziggy Aphrodisias is supposed to get support this set, so I would not be surprised if Aurora also got support this set. Our opponent is on AB0, so I get to completely disrespect them. We're going to send Lightning Surge first, because it will definitely benefit from the go again from quick succession. I'm hoping that the Surge hits, so that Second Strike is for sure online. We're going to end on Path. I'm assuming that it connects, because again, my opponent is on AB0, but they have shown me take the lead, and I could also see them being on toe the line. So I don't think it's a guarantee that I'm going to connect with the Arcane from Path of Same Ends. We also just got blocked out on the Lightning Surge, so I kind of need Path to be good. If our opponent has Prevention, then I burn 2 points from Quick Succession. Don't get Go Again on Path, so I can't Scorpio, I can't Second Strike. That'd be real bad. Hey, we got there. What's up, Delph? Thank you for joining. The Mitic says it's too soon for Omen. I assume when they internally tested the Aurora was okay, so they can course correct after Omen release. But they were in set 21 development on Omen release. I am interested to know how Aurora tested internally, because if they were not testing with Skyward Serenade, which based on their comments about the card is too powerful, it was misprinted, we don't like that this card exists, we didn't want to bring it back, I have to assume that they were not testing with it. When Aurora released, so many streamers and content creators really tried with her, and the general consensus was this deck is unplayably bad. So I have to wonder, if they internally tested Aurora, what did they see that was like, yeah. Speaking of unplayable hands, if we had a Nimbleism in our graveyard, this hand would actually be kind of okay. As it is, I'm just going to block with Jack Be Nimble. We cover the 3 here. She did have the attack reaction, but it was the wrong one to get through our Shelter from the Storm last turn. Cowardly Vamp, thank you for following me on Twitter. I appreciate you. You are now my best friend. If you're watching this and you want to be my best friend, go follow me on, not Twitter, on Twitch. There was a comment, they were testing Aurora without Victor, Cindra, and I think Phi. Victor would definitely have been a brick wall for Aurora, and I think Victor would have been a brick wall even with Skyward Serenade. Again, Aurora Legacy of Tempest has a hard time getting through 60 Titanium Baubles, much less Gold Main Estate with Disruption. I guess is that Andrea Mengucci got the Aurora spoiler? Mengu, please. He's been playing a lot of Acilio lately, so he might have the Acilio spoiler. The Snatch is going to connect. We don't have an action point, so... I've just accepted that Omens was a draft set first and foremost. CC was a distant consideration unless you play... Why am I drawing these hands? Unless, and hear me out, you play a Cilio Constella Intelligence, in which case Omens was very much a classic constructed set. Do I want to grasp here just to make sure I use my hand? I think so. I feel like my opponent is not going to have ways to effectively block everything, so they just aren't really going to act on their turn. I think it's probably better if I convert the hand here. The optimal build of Aurora being in a Cilio deck is kind of funny. It's so funny. Opponent. Okay. Our opponent didn't know what was happening. I also think our opponent was new at the game. I'm going to give him a good game. And then I'm going to go next. We count those. That's a win, baby. That's your calling round one. You take those. I wasn't a Cilio player. I just have no interest in playing the deck as it is. I miss my Sigil Bouncing Boy. This is current Classic Constructed. This is not future. So this is the Bravest Levia. This is a Levia player who is preparing for the buffs by learning the deck as is. They are playing on hard mode, and I respect them for it. Opponent choosing to go first is also not what I would have expected from a Levia, but I have to tell you, it's been a long time since I played a Levia deck. Played against a Levia deck. So maybe this is right. I have no idea. You have no interest in playing the deck as it is. You miss your Sigil Bouncing Boy. I guess. He's very strong. Alright, let's lock in. This is a playable hand of cards. Our opponent is on Hexagore the Death Hydra. For 2 resources, you may attack for 6. When you attack with Hexagore, it deals damage to you equal to 6 minus the number of cards with Blood Debt in your banished zone. Pitching Shadow Realm Hydra and Soul Harvest, so our opponent is just loading the graveyard. I believe our block is Jack Be Nimble and Sink Below. Am I sinking the E-Strike? I think no. I could sink the Lightning Surge, which is not currently playable. I think I sink nothing. And this hand is like, fine. I am actively interested in arsenaling this Lightning Surge. It also works with Quick Succession or Arc Lightning if we draw that. Or we just go Fry, E-Strike, draw. Spoiled Skull is AP1. It also has text. 1 resource, banish this. Target 3 action cards with different names in your banish zone and choose one at random and you play it this turn. I assume that's just AB1 with no additional text. Gauntlets of Tyrannical Rex, I know what that does. Savage Sash and Shoes. So we will Fry with 3 go again. I think this is just 3/3/5. It's nothing exciting. I'm letting the Levia load the graveyard. But I'm technically going above rate. I'm dealing 11 damage off of 3 cards if you squint hard enough. Vile Inquisition. During hero banishes the top card of their deck. If it's the blue, they lose 1 life. Well, that's not a 6, so we're happy to see it. And we'll just E-Strike draw. The good thing about current Aurora, there really aren't... I was going to say, there really aren't bad cards in your deck to arsenal. This is one of them. I am going to arsenal it, but this is a bad card to put into my arsenal. This could have been anything else in the deck, and I would have been happy about it. But the fact that it is Skizzik, a card that I actively want in my deck to be able to tutor with Skyward Serenade, is very bad. What it does mean is that when I draw a Skyward Serenade, I can just +1 embodiment. Shadow Realm Horror coming in for 7 go again because it banished the 2 hits, but no additional text. There's nothing they can play. They have 1 resource floating, so they can't attack with the Hexagore. This might be a Graveling Growl in Arsenal. My turn is going to be Nimblism, Jack being nimble for 7 go again. See what happens. My opponent doesn't have a card in hand, so I can't face Purgatory here for its full value. They can't play Vile Inquisition. It was Graveling Growl. What does that mean? I go to 26, I deal 14 damage, or I could go block. I'm either getting 14 or I'm getting 10 offensively. I think it is better to just take the 7, go to 26. My hand is 14 damage. Alternatively, if my opponent gets hit by the Jack Be Nimble and turns on the second strike, I can go second strike Skizik. I'm still getting a 4-card 14. I'm just putting a better card into my arsenal. DUR asks, is this the combo one-shot Levia? I'm not familiar with that deck. Could be. I wouldn't know. Right, Levia has text. They turned off Blood Debt. Looking at 2 hits in the graveyard currently. Opponent says no blocks. We hit them for 7. Alright. We're sending the second strike. We're going second strike Skizik. We get our 4-card 14 and we arsenal an E-strike. Which is slightly better than Skizik, but not much better. Our opponent doesn't have an arsenal, so this is just a 4-card hand. I suspect that I'm going to get hit real hard. Something is happening, which is why Levia is not blocking. I have all of my armor up. Face Purgatory is here. There are definitely worlds where I don't get super punished by this 4-card Levia. There are also worlds where I take a bunch of damage and die. So we'll find out together as a team. Big Skizzy. Small Skizzy. I could snap Scorpio if I really wanted to. This looks like a Savage Sash block, which I assume means this looks like Savage Sash and Shoves, which means that Levia is definitely going for something large. Definitely going for something large. I do have the ability to face Purgatory. This is less impressive than I was hoping for. I can't really get around this Strongest Survive anyway, so I guess I'm going to face Purg. I do have to cover 7 here, which is hilarious. Because my hand will not have an attack in it, I can't reveal anything to Strongest Survive. I do have to make this block. Face Purg gets a pulping from our opponent. I'm just a little interested that they would have made that block. With the equipment, because they didn't have a way to really use it. You may play this from your banish zone. If you do, it costs resources less to play. I see. It's like our opponent's cards have text. They banish the Strongest Survive, which turns off Levia's hero power, but does not put a new card with Blood Debt into the banish zone. I get to do a really cool thing with Quick Succession, which is why I like this card so much. You get to Quick Succession, you get to Skyward Serenade, you get to Skizik buff. No, sorry, you get to Embodiment Skizik. But then you get to E-Strike Draw. The E-Strike is going to use the Go Again from Embodiment of Lightning. And get +1 from the Quick Succession. The Skizik is going to take the Go Again from Quick Succession for Go Again. So you get to use you get to split up the effects of Skyward Serenade, which is very cool. Skizik comes in for 5. I won. Is our opponent trying to flip into Plasma Fet? I feel like they could. I don't think that they should. They definitely can't take the one from Scorpio. Okay. She just took a bunch of damage. I assume she has a banger hand because she cannot flip into Plasmathet anymore. Blood Rush is a great start. This hand functions, so I got that going for me, which is nice. Quick Succession gives guaranteed go into Path of Same Ends. Rabble just has go again. If this Levia can hit me hard enough, I don't need to Snapdragon my Scar for a Scar. Otherwise, I don't think I'm dying from 26. Phoenix says, if you defend with gauntlets, you can show Ravenous that has 5 base and don't discard it. I wanted to trigger Face Purgatory. I only had 1 attack in my hand, so I had to block with the Ravenous Rabble. I wasn't concerned about getting hit by the strongest survive. I was, but it wasn't just that I was trying to block it. I was also trying to do Face Purgatory. Opponent with double Blood Rush. Yeepers. Why is the strongest survive showing in Banish? Oh, because they broke Spoiled Skull. I see. Like, they're not allowed to play this card. This is attacking for 11. I'm going to need to show them a card and then discard it. Attacking for 12. Whenever a card with 6 or more power is put into your banish zone, you may destroy Who's the Shadow Beast if you do gain 1 action point. So they've not broken Shoes. I feel like this is a time where I do want to block with Grasp of the Arknight. I am definitely showing and discarding a card. It's going to be the Scar for a Scar, which does not have go again. I guess I'm also blocking with Shelter in case this is Command and Conquer. Do I need to do that? Oh, there's no action point. So I am going to play the Shelter. I guess I didn't need to do that. I will show and discard Scar for a Scar because I'm in a higher life total. Opponent takes 2 damage from Blood Debt. I assume Arsenal's the last card in their hand. They are AB0, so I don't need to play Quick Succession here. I could just Arsenal it for next turn. Currently threatening for, let's call it 8, 10 damage. So I am threatening lethal, which means I do want to play Quick Succession so that I need the +2 from Quick Succession so that I can guaranteed threaten lethal with Rabble and Path. I'm going to send the Rabble first because what I get to do potentially with either Ironweave is break it for Grasp of the Arknight. It only represents 1 point of damage, which, like, isn't nuts. But as it is, this Path is dealing 5 points of damage. Scorpio is dealing 6 points of damage. I need to force my opponent to block with armor, which means that I have to break the chain, which means that I cannot lead with Path of Same Ends because I need to have a lightning attack on the chain for Scorpio. So now we come in with Path. We're dealing 1 Arcane from the Rune Chant, 1 from the Path, and then Path attacks for 4. So Path does represent lethal damage. Our opponent can just give Gauntlet to stay at 1, but then they have to give Sash to not get hit by Scorpio. And then they don't have Sash. We've seen 2 Blood Rushes already, so I don't know how much go again my opponent could have left. But I'm assuming 2 Shadow Realm Horrors and 2 Pulpings. We could have an Agile Wind-Up. We could have Wild Rides in there. Just, there are enough scenarios where my opponent benefits from Savage Sash that I need them to either destroy it or give me a card from hand. So far, we're looking at, what, Gauntlet and card from hand? I'll take it. There is no on-hit for Path of Same Ends. So if they're just giving me equipment for free, we take those. showing Skizik on top, which will block for 3 if I need it to, or we just use Snapdragons to make it 4 with Go Again. There's a quick succession left in my deck. We've yet to see an Arc Lightning. There are 2 Serenades left. I have a lot of ways that I could give that Skizik Go Again and get a little extra value out of it. Threat and lethal at the same time. We're getting Levia to the point that she needs to start giving me cards from hand, which means that she is less likely to turn off Blood Debt, which means that she is more likely to just die. Opponent gives me the last strongest survive. We love to see those. We send Scorpio. I assume my opponent does not let this hit and go to 1. They gave me their only source of Arcane Barrier. I've yet to see a burn-up shock, so I could, in theory, draw 3 copies in my next hand. My opponent has 4 cards. I am at effectively 21 with Grasp of the Arknight. So let's see if I am dead. This hand is insane. This hand is really good. We get to, if I get to keep this hand, I get to Arc Lightning, Skizik, Current Funnel, Lightning Surge, Scorpio. We deal 1, 2, 3, 4 Arcane, 6, 10, 14 power, with Scorpio representing 2 on top of that. So this is a 4-card 16 if I get to keep it. We'll see. We've got a Dread Screamer. The Savage Sash was broken. Screamer does not have text that I care about, so we're not attacking with that. We're not blocking that. We're just waiting to see something. Boneyard Marauder attacking for 6. There is no action point behind this. Yes, there is. Sorry, I'm dumb. So we've either got Graveling Growl coming from Arsenal, or... oh, it could be a Brute attack. We've got Savage Sash used. They are representing lethal. I am going to play around the Reckless Swing and stay at 4. There is a world where I do extra blocking here. I don't think that's the world I need to live in. I think we're fine just blocking 4. I guess I could have kept the Current Funnel, which represents 2 Arcane guaranteed, and then I just win the game before my opponent has the chance to Reckless Swing. That was probably the right move. We block with Skizik instead. I play Arc Lightning, put my opponent to 2. I pitch Current Funnel to Grasp, put them to 1, and then I attack with the Skizik, and the Rune Chant kills them, and they can't Reckless Swing me. I'm not concerned about dying to Reckless Swing. It's more like, what if they have the nuts with double Reckless Swing, double 6 power, and they just get me? All right, we managed to pull out a win there with some very above rate turns. We were never below rate on any of our turns. 16.6 points of value per turn. Opponent wasn't a slouch either. Had some good turns, went above rate, but it's a good Aurora game to go out on. After a series of real poopers, we went positive for the day. And you know what? We take those. 3-2 is enough to day 2 your calling. Thank you all for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the games. They were pretty rough. We're just waiting room for the Aurora spoiler, and hopefully that Aurora spoiler is not so good that LSS feels the need to take away Skyward Serenade. Please, I need this. I, unfortunately, will not be back on Monday. I do have a prior commitment that is going to interrupt my ability to stream. I will be back on Thursday. What is that? September 3rd? With probably more Jarl, testing those new cards. If you didn't see the stream yesterday, you really missed out. We had some great games. I was playing All In Together's Jarl list with Ancient Earth Oak and Ice Aged Oak. Fantastic. Jarl is in an incredible position. So we'll be playing that on Thursday. Sorry to make you wait so long. Again, I have a prior commitment on Monday. But Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be on YouTube and Twitch. You can expect some gameplay videos between now and then. I want to start putting out more gameplay videos, taking the best games from these streams. I'm trying to be a little more analytical about them. Again, as I've said, I am on Twitch now. I'm going to post the link in chat one more time. If you could be a dear and head over to Twitch, drop me a quick follow, be a concurrent viewer, get me that affiliate so that I can start begging you all for your monthly Bezos bucks. I would truly appreciate it. If you're playing at Calling Hamburg this weekend, why are you watching this stream? Go get some sleep. Go practice for the tournament. Good luck. I know you'll top 8, and I'm really excited to see you do it. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Have a great next week. I'll see you all on Thursday. And until the next time I see you all, take care.